Welcome to Drunk Sucks Productions, where every video that I get out gets lower and lower in quality somehow. Anyways, let me just start up here real quick. I just finished an almost full take of this whole video, and then camera decided, or phone decided, hey, I'm taking up too much data, so I have to end the video, and then that ended up corrupting the video somehow, so that was cool. Anyways, complaints aside, this is probably going to be Japanese only, because just because they try to fix, the devs basically fixed water physics during a cutscene in the English version, so I don't think this will work on the English version, but I could be wrong. I did not test it. Anyways, going to start out with an example. Hopefully it works out. Hopefully I don't get RNG'd. If he goes too far left, too far right, I still can't really get him, so hopefully this just works. Then I can go into various examples and frame data here and there. You might still be able to do this on the English version, it would just be a little harder. Maybe just very tighter frame data, in which case I'm not sure it'd be worth it. What do I want to do with this guy? Yeah, I'll do the fancy one, sure. What frame am I on? No, I don't want to do it from here. Yes, that might work out. And he memed on me, yay. Well, that sucks. Anyways, so I went up to the right, basically. Upright is what I held for a lot of these patterns. I should have gone with the rank strat. I really should have. It wasn't going far enough right, but I tried to get fancy. Alright, I'm getting tired of this, so I'm just going to continue. Ignore my fail. Anyways, so I'm going upright, and then there are a couple of frames here that I want to aim for. This right here is the first frame, so either you can look at when Link's right fin is kind of slashing his head in half, or when this seaweed is specifically to the left this far. It's like the second frame to the left of the B button. If you're trying to do this, if you're trying to aim for first frame, so you're trying to, tap pause instead of mash pause, then I would just aim for something about when the seaweed looks like it's overlapping the green button, react to it, hopefully it's 2 frames after. Otherwise, do what you would do, practice whatever works with you, if you care enough to try this stuff. So, as far as the cases themselves, so that's when things get dicey between first frame and second frame. So first frame you're still walking, and that actually gives some good strats to work with. Second frame you're swimming, and then you're starting to float up, which can cause some problems. But anyways, so by the time I pause, I'm basing it off what I do next, off what direction Gyorg is going in. And sometimes, weird thing, if you don't hold a direction, he can actually do different things. Like that time he decided to go off to the left. Awesome. But I really should have just done the other strat for that. Anyways, am I missing some things I want to explain? Probably. Let's just start out with the cases, I guess. Alright, so this one is left. Yes, this is one is very far left. Alright, I thought so. Alright, so this time I'm going to have to do full. Is there something? Oh, yeah, I forgot the whole thing about why this works. So, before I get into the cases, let me just explain this thing. So at the end of the first phase, I'm specifically doing a dolphin dive. So I actually did get away with a dolphin dive there. It just gets cut off. There we go. You can tell based off the camera. There, I didn't. Okay, there we go. And then my y coordinates went to 0. So at the end of the first phase, if you're not aware, you kind of get 4 options to transition to the second phase where Link is going to be, or more specifically how he's going to be, how he's going to start out as, basically. So first option, normal option, is getting onto the platform. Wherever you are on the platform, you stay in that position. I don't think it changes at all. If you're floating in the water, or you're rising up in the water, then you're going to be floating at the top by the time it's done. If you're sinking, or if you're already on the ground by the end of the water, you're going to be there, and you're going to be just walking around on the bottom of the floor. That's your third option. Fourth option is if you do a dolphin dive. In Japanese, water physics don't work in a cutscene, so you're actually going to fall. So right now I'm actually kind of walking on the floor, but the water isn't active. And it's not active for a couple of frames after the cutscene, I think is what's going on. Because I'm actually walking around, you can see. But after a couple frames, then Link starts floating. And so he's kind of between those two water options, I guess you could say. But he's able to float, and he does it on the first frame possible, which gives us a couple of options. So anyways, phase 1, or when he goes to the left. And again, at the end of the cutscene, I'm going upright, holding upright, and trying to go for this frame here, but sometimes the next frame after will work. I don't think it does for the save state though. So anyways, let's say you get alright, you pause here, you're walking upright, whatever, you see Gyorg's going way to the left. Nice KZ pause. Okay, I got lucky, I got my first frame. What I'm going to do is very fanciful. What I'm going to do is kind of face left or down left, depending on how far it's going. I guess left probably works most of the time better. I'm going to hold left, I'm going to press B. And then he's going to turn around after a couple of frames. This is stuff that I would pause buffer because we're in the margin of frames for this stuff. We don't have much leniency for this frame-wise. And then press A every frame until he starts swimming. I think it's usually the second frame. Okay, I take back what I said about earlier. So first frame there, press B, I'm going to hold down left again. And now I'm pressing A every frame. Yeah, I'm annoyed. Sorry, I'm getting really impatient. So I'm going to go back to left. Buddy, this save state works, I'm pretty sure. Does it not? Why would I have gotten this save state that doesn't work? There we go. Okay, that's why. Because he decided to walk in to swim into me that time. That's why it worked. Otherwise, it would have been too far to the left. Wouldn't have been able to get it. So, yes, this strat is pretty limited on the sides. Oh yeah. What happens if I get phase 2? I get unlucky. The frame data actually will be different because you're trying to turn around as quickly as possible. At least I think. Was that really as fast as possible for that? Am I missing something? Okay, no, I didn't think so. Alright. Anyways, you get the second frame. What do? Instead, you're going to hold down for 2 frames. Alright, now Link's facing the camera. What does that do for us? This is, I think, the fastest way to turn around, basically, in this situation. Anyways, you're going to hold A and then right. You're not going to hold left. When Zora Link is swimming, he is actually very Link-oriented. He is not camera-oriented. So, just hold right, and he will go to the left in this case. After he starts to finish his turn, then you want to just try to go after Gyorg. But again, this takes more frames, I think. So, there's not always going to be a good opportunity for this to work if you get second frame. So that's why first frame is really good. And you may want to consider trying to learn how to pause it if you're going for these strats. But sometimes you can still get him. Looks like he turned into me again. Might have just been part of his branch that I was on. Whatever. That's one of the patterns. What if he goes straight at you? Just the straight at me one? Sure, why not? Yeah, straight at me. Alright, so first frame here. Again, holding upright into whatever position. Now I'm going to press B on this frame because I want to try to use the boomerang on him in this case because he's kind of going right at me. Press B, hold up leftish, Wait until he actually gets to this frame where his fins are up like that. Target, hold B, release fins as soon as possible, take the mask off, put the mask on. The reason you want to put the mask off, put the mask back on, is because Link is focused on the fins. You can't really do much else while that's going on, so if you transition to human, transition back to Zora, then he's got new fins, they're already back in their place. He doesn't care about the other fins, you can do whatever you want like you're controlling normally now. And somehow that was too late. Buddy, what do you got, like invincible frames or something? Iframes? Alright, that was very weird, but anyways, with Rang strats come risks that are annoying. So if the Rangs damage Gyorg, then you have to do 2 magic barrier hits on top of that. You can't just do 1 magic barrier hit and expect the fight to be done. He has too much HP for that. Fins don't happen to do as much damage as magic barrier, unfortunately for us. So I think this is what I normally do. I walk to the left. Yeah, that's what it is. Alright. I should have turned the other way. Alright, so do your mask transition. Try not to get damaged. Are you kidding me? Just barely missed him. If you get damaged while trying to Zora swim, you're going to be sad because he's not actually going to swim. He's just going to take damage and then he's going to whine and complain because he took damage. And he won't actually swim. So when he's flashing red, when Gyorg is flashing red, you want to try to avoid him because he can still damage you. But when he's stunned specifically, he can't really damage you. So keep that in mind. If the fins look like, you think they're gonna hit him, then, beware. Try to just swim around and try to use your instincts to hit him. I know it sounds annoying, but honestly, you can kind of get used to how his patterns work. He generally tries to swim in one direction for the most part, I think. And so as long as you try to stay ahead of him, hope that he doesn't turn, basically. Sometimes he will, but hope that he doesn't turn. And then just try to, stymie your movements. So go in circles or just try to turn a lot, and that'll slow you down a little bit. And then Gyorg normally will swim faster than you anyways. The goal is for him to swim into you while you're trying to swim slower. But if you're on JP, you don't want to end swimming, of course, because that'll end your magic barrier. Alright. What does it look like if you get second frame walk? Okay, second frame walk is here. So he's just starting to swim. I guess it's not really good to call it a second frame walk, but whatever. Again, hold up left, press B to start the sinking animation. The reason it sucks is because you now have to deal with more sinking frames. And then you also have to target twice, kinda. Once to get the camera to face Gyorg, the other time to actually target Gyorg. And hopefully it works. Hopefully you do a little better than I do. This is still... No, I didn't want to save that state. That was a bad state. Whatever. Maybe I didn't actually change things. Okay, buddy. You might just have to take my word for it that this is possible still. Somehow I'm able to just target him still. I guess his pattern changed. Sometimes it's better to just stun him at first and then re-line up with him, but I didn't anticipate it in time, so then of course you have so much more time to actually get ready to stun him, basically. And that's the idea with just stunning him and doing a circle and trying to damage him after you do your circle. It works so much smoother. This one is a bit of a bad one. So there was a pattern at some point in testing. I don't remember what happened with it in my head, but the idea was to do something like this. Just keep swimming upright. And then based off of this other one in the back, so you got these two brackets or whatever connecting the panels in the back on the wall. There's another set right here behind Link's fins. So based off of that visual cue, turn around, press A, or hold down to turn around, and one slink faces the camera, hold A and shield. And then sometimes that would work, but it doesn't work with the save state. And honestly, you're probably just better off with the rangs anyways for that. It's such a shallow angle section that works for that. Alright, and then the last one is, of course, when he goes to the right, hopefully not too far to the right. So you're just pausing whatever, you get whatever frame that you're on, and you just stun him. And so that's why we walk upright, is to make that specifically easier. So you have more frames to work with, or more leniency when he goes to the right too far. Anyways, this video has gone for a long while now, just me rambling for the most part, just different cases. There was one more thing I want to go over. That's just a little random thing with the state that you're in. Anyways, if you roll, or if you're experimenting with this, then if you press A while holding up, so you can actually roll while you're on the floor, and that can kind of propel you forward before you dolphin dive. So it's actually a much faster way to dolphin dive, I think. And if you somehow knew which direction he would go in, you can probably actually hit him if he goes too far to the right or too far to the left. But that's such a nuanced thing. And even if we did control this pattern, or we know how to control this pattern, we'd probably just have him go, well, honestly, that's kind of fast. I don't know. Maybe something closer to the platform, honestly, would be a little better. But, I don't know. Leave it up to whoever finds something new next. I said whoever finds something new for Gyorg. Dear HF, sorry for being so long.